Hey guys, welcome back for round 3. Here we go with solving perimeter problems with Mr. Medina. So this problem right here, you're going to need a couple of materials. You're definitely going to need a pencil, of course, LOL. We're going to need the STAR Mathematics reference materials and the back part, just in case, okay? Alrighty, so it starts a little bit like this. It says, use the ruler provided to measure the length and width of each rectangle to the nearest centimeter. So I'm going to go ahead and follow directions, and I'm going to measure that first. I'm going to go ahead and use my STAR reference chart, my best friend, and I'm going to go ahead and use the centimeter side. Okay, when I put it on there. We're going to say that this one is 3.5, or 3 5/10 of a centimeter. Let's go ahead and check out the other side. 3 5/10 of a centimeter. Three and 5/10 of a centimeter as well. I'm actually thinking that this might be a square since all these sides are the same. Yep, it is a square. So I'm going to go ahead and label it square. And then I'm going to go ahead and measure this side. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky. The image is really close to 7. So I'm going to go ahead and put 7 centimeters. And on the width, we're going to go ahead and put 2.5 centimeters. Okay. Same thing over here, 7 centimeters for the length. And then if that's 2.5 centimeters, this also has to be 2.5 centimeters. And this is a rectangle. Okay. That's all I have so far. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish reading the question. It says, what is the difference between the perimeters of these rectangles in centimeters? So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to go ahead and figure out the perimeter of just the square, because they want to know the difference between the perimeter of these rectangles in centimeters. So step 1, let's go ahead and find the perimeter of the first square right here. So perimeter equals, let me look at my chart. What does it say about perimeter? So perimeter for a square is P equals 4S, which really means this. Perimeter equals 4S. So it means perimeter equals 4 times S, and our side is 3.5. Okay. There's 2 ways to do this. Because it is a decimal, we haven't taught you how to multiply decimals, but you could do this. You ready? 3.5 plus 3.5. 5 plus 5 is 10. We group the 1. 6, 7, right? So we know if we repeat it one more time, it's also going to give us the same thing. 3.5 plus 3.5, or 3 5/10 plus 3 5/10 will also give us 7. So now we know 7 plus 7. 7 plus 7 gives us 14. 14 centimeters. So our perimeter is 14 centimeters. For those students that are curious about multiplying a decimal times 4, here you go. If you don't feel comfortable yet, just ignore this part. 3.5 times 4. 4 times 5 is 20. You put the 0 here. Group the 2. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. You have to count how many spaces you went from the ones over here. So that was just once. So then you put your decimal here and you just jump once. So it just goes here. So basically the decimal is placed how many spaces it jumped. So that was just one jump. So now you just come back and do one jump. So it's 14. Okay. If you feel more comfortable with this way, stay here. However, you're ready to go here, stay there. Okay. It's up to you. I'm giving you a choice. Okay. So now step 2, we're going to find the perimeter of the rectangle. For S. However, the rectangle does have a different formula. Let's check it out. So we can go with the classic one that we've always done, the rectangle. Perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width. That's a classic. Or if you want to go ahead and use your multiplication skills, you can do perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. I'm going to go ahead and model this one real quick because we are dealing with decimals. I think this is the best one to use. So let me bring the paper up a little bit. So perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width. That's the one you've learned in 3rd grade and we've explored a little bit in 4th grade, but we're trying to move you on to the other one. Okay, so you ready? The length is 7. So I'm going to put 7. Plus the width is 2.5 centimeters or 2 5/10 of a centimeter. Plus 7 centimeters for our other length. Plus 2.5 centimeters for our following width. Okay? So now we have to just go ahead and add up all these sides and lengths. And I'm going to go ahead and start with my whole numbers. That seems to be a little bit easier for me. 7 and 7. We know that's a factor, so that's just 14. And 2 5/10 plus 2 5/10 equals 5 and 5, that's 10. Group the 1, bring down your decimal point. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So essentially all you're doing is 14 plus 5. Let's check it out. 14 plus 5, and it gives you 19. So your perimeter is 19 centimeters. Okay. Now that we have both of our perimeters, the one for the square and the one for the rectangle, we are going to answer the question. What is the difference? When you're finding the difference, you're comparing. And when you're comparing, you're trying to see how much more does this perimeter have than this one. So what do you think that we should do? Should we add, subtract, multiply, or divide? I'm thinking we're trying to figure out how much more this one has. We definitely have to subtract it from this one. So let's go ahead and set up the equation. Difference equals, let's call this perimeter 2 minus perimeter 1, which is the first one. Okay. So let's go ahead and put the equation. Difference. This is perimeter 2 is 19. And then perimeter 1, which is right here, I'll put the 1, is 14. 19 minus 14. 19 minus 14. We have 5 and 0. So the difference is 5 centimeters. So is it okay if I just put D equals 5 centimeters? The D stands for difference. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure to note them down and ask us. Thank you for watching.